Just because the kids are out of school doesn't mean they can't still learn. Parenting expert Jeff Londraville joins us with tips to keep your kids motivated and learning all summer long. Jeff, it's so nice to be with you.
Nice to see you.
Now, you're a parent as well as a parenting expert, so you can attest to this and practice what you preach, right?
Definitely.
So we have some great tips for parents. So the first thing, obviously, kids are home, and it's a great time to really focus on teaching good habits.
Right. I mean, you want to keep your kids in critical thinking mode. You don't want that to ever stop. Just because the summer's here and it's a little more laid back, that's fantastic for everybody. You get to, recuperate, get to re-energize yourself. But in the same sense, you want to keep the critical thinking and the development going for any child, no matter what age.
Right. So teaching good habits is something you should do all year round. But because you do have a little bit of extra time with them, days are longer, you can really focus on that. And you can also get your kids to run a business. I'm sure we all ran a lemonade stand as a kid.
Right. It's interesting how much pride they'll take. And I also have a rule at lemonade stands. I never drive by one. You have to stop.
You have to.
You have to. It means the world to that child.
And it feels good for you, too, to get their lemonade, whether you drink it or not, right?
Yeah, exactly. And talk it up. It's the best lemonade you ever had, no matter what. It means the world to a child. And that's what we're really trying to do, is make a difference in a child's life. And having that job as that first lemonade stand or anything else really helps them see how the world works so they can work with the world. How people are, how do you actually produce a product. It sounds kind of like, oh, of course, but it's something simple that children don't know about.
And they can learn about money, understand money and how it works.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the things where as we get older, we realize things of, if we have this much money, we can buy this, that kind of thing. So it's interesting and important for a child, and it's also important for the parent. You say, honey, I have only $50. What would you like? I have $50 for this, $30 for this, whatever the amount is. So they understand how you're going through it as a parent, as an adult, what you can provide them, but also what they can provide for themselves in the future. The overhead of things, you know what I mean? Of, if I have this much money, I can buy this. It really helps them see how the world works so they can work with the world.
Absolutely, and start it young. As young as they are, as soon as they're ready to sit out there and sell lemonade, why not?
Exactly. There's always a teaching moment.
Absolutely, and I think it's really great too when you see a lemonade stand and they're donating all the money to a charity. And I think that you're learning you're teaching your kids so much. They're learning so much.
Right. And during the summer is this special time because you always want to reflect on everything. You want to reflect on the year of school. You want to reflect on the upcoming year of school. Like I said, you want to keep the critical thinking going. Not too much TV. Everything in balance in life, but not too much TV, because you don't want the TV then taking your child's development then 2 steps back. You want them hit the ground running in September, or I guess these days, when they start school. So you really want them to actually hit the ground running and not say, oh, I missed this, or I'm behind because summer we kind of kicked back.
Right, and of course, if they're old enough to, you encourage them to get a summer job.
Right. I mean, summer jobs are fantastic for a lot of different reasons. Not only, like we said, how the world works, but also how money works. But also in the same aspect, it gives them pride. It's their money. It's their situation. They can buy this. I purchased this. It shows them a lot of things of what they're going to have to achieve in adulthood.
And when it comes to an allowance, let's say, they do get a certain amount of money for chores, how do you suggest parents teach their kids to use that allowance?
Right, and you can start that at any age. An allowance for a 5-year-old is simply sometimes, doing the right thing by putting dishes away, cleaning the sink, little simple things like that, helping vacuum, that kind of stuff. It really shows different things of how we get things and how we do things. Now, especially for children as they're growing, an allowance should be for something. I firmly believe that, because what they'll find out is, especially as they go in teenage years and older years, oh, where's that money that I always had coming in weekly? And it sounds kind of, like, oh, well, you'll teach them that. But you really want to start off on the right foot of how this all comes together.
And of course, parents, you're their first role models.
Right.
So set an example.
Yeah, during the summer is huge in the fact that your children are around you more because it's the summer, and we go on vacations more. They're going to see how you interact with other people. They're going to see how you interact with your husband, wife, or any situation, and they're going to take that in like a sponge. So be careful of what we say, what we do, how we act. If we're in traffic, that kind of thing, like you showed earlier. I mean, they're really taking it all in. They're learning constantly by you, by your words. Think about what you say, how you say it, because they're going to repeat it, and they're going to repeat it throughout their lives. You want to teach them the right way to live.
It's amazing when you see, I'm just learning that now with a 17-month-old. Where did she learn that?
Exactly.
Or what, she's burping her little baby doll because she sees me doing that, and that happens as they grow. So you're right, everything you do, they do learn from.
Yes, definitely. And my daughter's 8 years old now, and a lot of things she'll say, of course, I said, and I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, where did that come from?
And you control what you can control. Sometimes they'll pick it up somewhere else. Sometimes they'll pick it up in a daycare, a camp, whatever they're up to. So you control what you can control. Where did you learn that, honey? Do you know what that means? This word means this. We had a conversation conversation the other day where Lola used another word, and I says, "Where'd you hear that word?" And it wasn't a bad word, but I was just wondering where it came from. "Oh, they said it on this TV show. Do you know what it means?" "Well, not exactly." "Okay, well, let's talk about that." So there's so many teaching moments throughout the day. And also, the drive on vacation. Use that drive. If they throw a book in the back seat, maybe they'll pick it up because they get bored in the back seat, you know, going to a certain destination, going to the beach.
Absolutely.
Put it next to them. They'll pick it up. Simple things like that. Instead of forcing them to read, actually have them, you know, oh, suddenly there's a book around. Suddenly we can do this. You know, seeing you read on the beach or anywhere else. Really, all things they can learn and pick up, like I said, like a sponge.
Well, this is great advice, Jeff, and of course a good reminder for all of us parents. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you.
Still